Breaking news this morning, CENTCOM Commander General Frank McKenzie announced that the United States will be pulling more than 2,000 troops out of Iraq, nearly cutting the U.S. presence there in half. This comes as the president tries to undo the damage done by multiple reports that he denigrated military veterans and questioned their service, reports that the president continues to deny.
They make this stuff up. They make it up. They make stuff. It's called disinformation. They give a phony deal out. They did it 2 days ago with the military. There's nobody loves the military more than me. So they make, I was very lucky, though. I had 15 incredible American patriots that came by, and they said, he never said that. They were there.
Reminder, Fox News confirmed those reports. Fox News. I want to bring in my friend Paul Rieckhoff. He's the founder and executive director of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. He's also the host of the Angry Americans podcast, which I highly recommend. Paul, let's start with this. The administration official also said the president will announce an additional withdrawal from Afghanistan in the coming days. If all of this is damage control to get military people back on his side, why wouldn't he have done it already? Why is this suddenly a good idea?
It's not a good idea, and it's a sign of desperation. Clausewitz once said that war is the extension of politics by other means. Everything having to do with war, national defense, conflict is political. And presidents have said they're going to end Iraq before. Before I came on with you, I posted a link to a 2011 announcement by President Obama when they said the Iraq war was ended. They did a celebration at the White House. Members of our organization were invited. That was 2011. Now, Trump is moving only a third of our troops down in Iraq. That's not going to look like the end of a war to those troops. It's not going to look like an end of the war to the Iraqis. And I think it further politicizes and deepens the division between our political leadership and our military. It's another example of how they're being used as props and toys for his political agenda. And it's deeply damaging and really unprecedented. And don't forget, Friday's 9/11. So he's probably going to double down on that, too, and just continue to try to make up for the lost ground because he knows he's hurt. This is hurting him very bad politically with independents like me, Republicans, and everybody in between.
The president calls himself a law and order guy. He continues to say Joe Biden wants anarchy. He's up for defunding the police, which Joe Biden has repeatedly said he is not in support of defunding the police. But what messages are getting to veterans? OK, you speak to veterans every day. Help me understand how they are receiving all the news that they're getting, especially the ones about what the president has said, suckers and losers, about fallen service people.
I call him on my podcast all the time President Mayhem, because that's what he is. Everything that he touches, everything that he does creates mayhem, perpetuates mayhem. He's like a political suicide bomber. Everything that he hits blows up everything in the way. And I think what our military sees is chaos. They don't see clarity. They see him attacking his own generals. They see a lack of discipline. They see a lack of integrity. Right now, as I talk to you, my 5-year-old is starting kindergarten upstairs. Okay, this is the reality we're facing. My son can't watch the president. We don't have a president we can be proud of. We don't have a president who has any honor, who has any integrity, who respects anything. That's what we're dealing with right now across America, and especially in the military. We need a commander-in-chief we can admire, we can respect, and most importantly, that we can trust.
But, Paul, you have not been a fan of the president in the last 3 years that I have known you, and he has had a lot of support from the military. Do you think that's waning?
Yeah. I mean, I've been critical of Obama, Bush, and everybody along the way. When it comes to Iraq, there's a lot to be critical of. I left Iraq in 2004, and we've been hearing empty promises from politicians ever since. And the Military Times poll shows that his support within the military is dropping significantly. It's dropping among veterans. You're going to talk about the coronavirus. We have to recognize that thousands, maybe tens of thousands of veterans, especially World War II veterans, have been lost to the coronavirus. He screwed that up, too. And the Secretary of VA, Wilkie, came on your program and lied about hydroxychloroquine. He said that it was working on middle-aged veterans, and we have no proof of that. What we do know is they're not testing for the virus across the VA. They've only tested 600,000 people in the entire VA since the pandemic began. So if they love veterans so much, can they at least test them for coronavirus and make it a priority before we lose more of them? I think that cuts to the core of what our troops and our veterans see. They're not partisan. They put country first, and they want a president who does the same.
Speaking of Wilkie, he could take over for Mark Esper as defense secretary. What is your reaction to that? I'm pretty sure you're the guy who started the hashtag, Where's Wilkie?
It's more chaos. I mean, Trump is attacking his own Secretary of Defense that he installed, who was a former Raytheon executive, who, by the way, refused to recuse himself from Raytheon business. So all this war profiteering talk, Trump is creating an environment of war profiteering. And now what he's also doing is undermining the Secretary of Defense and letting rumors fly that he might replace him with Wilkie. The reason he loves Wilkie is because Wilkie is his most loyal political attack dog. He is a hack. He carries water for Trump time and time again. He would not even condemn the remarks that the president's made about John McCain. Think about this. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs will not defend POWs. Okay, that's how low this has gotten. And that's why Trump likes him. He knows he can count on him politically at the expense of anything else along the way.